There's a heartbreaking Chinese fairy tale about how excess leads to destruction and what happens when women don't help other women. It's called The Water Mother. A poor woman lives with her mother-in-law and her daughter. Presumably, the men in the family are dead. It's the daughter-in-law's job to be dutiful and obedient to the mother-in-law, and she is, and yet the mother-in-law hates her and abuses her horribly. One day, the mother-in-law says to the daughter-in-law, "You know what? It's too extravagant to get our water from water carriers. I want you to walk to the well every day and get all our water yourself. If you don't, you will get nothing to eat." So every day, after feeding the pigs and the dogs, cooking the food for everyone, mending the clothes, our girl has to go do this. The story says no woman has the strength to go back and forth to the well as many times as her mother-in-law demanded, but she has to do it or she'll get beaten as well as starved. Well, one day she can't stand this anymore. She gets to the well and her body is breaking down and she's like, "You know what? I'm just gonna throw myself in the well and stop all this pain." But then suddenly an old white-haired woman appeared and she comes back and says, "Hey, don't do this. I'm gonna help you." She takes out this little wand and she says, "Here, all you have to do is tap any pail once with this wand and it will fill with water. But beware of striking it twice and never tell anyone about it." Then she disappears because she's obviously a helpful supernatural spirit of some sort. The poor woman doesn't really believe in it, but then later she's like, "Oh, I'll try it." And it works. She taps the bucket and it's filled with water. She doesn't have to go to the well anymore. She's super relieved and happy, but obviously this becomes apparent that she isn't traveling to the well anymore, and the mother-in-law gets suspicious and spies on her. Once she sees the magic, she wants to do it herself. So when the daughter-in-law is gone, she takes it and just whacks it with the stick a bunch of times, which she's not supposed to do. In a flash, water poured out of the pail and covered the whole house and all the other houses and the whole village until all of the rich fields even became one giant lake. She drowns in the flood. Sadly, our girl drowns in the flood. It doesn't say anything about the daughter, but we're assuming she does too. And what was the magic bucket has now become this large spring. And this story obviously is explaining like where springs come from. So our girl died, but the people built a temple in honor of her and called her the Water Mother. Technically, this story falls into the category of Why is the Sea Salt, a folklore category where people have a salt mill and it magically will grind anything you want, and they make it grind salt, but then they can't stop it, and it usually sinks to the bottom of the ocean and kills everyone on a ship, and that's why the ocean is salty. And morally, obviously, the greed and the desire to control and abuse other people leads to catastrophe, and the abuser gets punished for the abuse. And yes, our protagonist dies too, but she gets honored after her death, forever. Her purity and suffering have elevated her in the spiritual realm. It also says, hey, here's how we got springs. From women's suffering. Women's suffering is actually used as an explanation for lots of natural phenomenon in folklore, because it's been happening for a while.